I think that's one of the things that was most inviting to me about Buddhism was that it's just so open and it's about you as an individual and your inner self rather than an external God or an external external thing you're trying to achieve. It's about everyone has their own individual self which they need to discover. Which arguably, when you're a child, you have that honesty and you have that openness, and it gets diluted because of the world around you. And I think that's what was most inviting to me about it. And I think that's why it should be inputted into Western schools and Western
Yeah,
education, like you say, because I think it would be really beneficial.
yeah. Because these aspects are not kind of like religions aspects, these are
No.
just psychological aspects that actually can benefit anyone. But of course, because it comes wrapped in a in a Buddhist in a Buddhist kind of like aspect, lots of things get some type of repulsion or some type of
Yeah.
aversion to
Mm.
it. It is just like real tools. It's like what I realized, that Buddhism is like a set of tools for you yourself to work on whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do with your life, to become a better person for you and others. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that? So it is quite interesting if people can develop that. So yeah, so I think this time of reflection, it's very important to ask yourself some of these questions and try to look for tools that would like help you in this process, because everything was taught to us, right? I can only speak English and Portuguese, because someone taught me. I can only walk because someone taught me. I can only go to the toilet or cook or do everything we do is because someone taught us. So that's why it's so important that there is people that not only understood rationally but apply this internally in themselves, and they can share that. That's why in Buddhism we talk so much about the importance of the teacher, of finding a teacher that actually can help you. Because you see, like being compassionate, we talk about being compassionate, and you cannot fake in a way being compassionate all the time. At some point you're gonna like, wow. And some of these people, like the Dalai Lama or my teacher Lama Zopa Rinpoche, they don't feel it. Like you can see they are pure compassion. And you're like, how can they do it? I like, for me it was so interesting to see the Amma, the hugging lady, giving hugs for 26 hours without going to the toilet, without going to eat anything. Or my teacher giving talks and teachings for thousands of people, and kind of like then after that, like giving one little piece, of it's a string to all of them. It's just like these selfless acts when there's no, because you know that this is what the people need at that moment. So it's very, very, very special if we can really kind of examples, these role models. It doesn't need to be how can I say that, religious people. It can be just normal people in our daily lives that we see, and we see how they interact. You go to a shop and there's someone that is absolutely wonderful with this smile, even though the life is not good. You just feel much better. Why? Because again, we are just social beings. What one person feels, we we feel it as well in some level or another. We know when the person is just like, with this face, and you just know. You just know. So you're like, okay, what can I do? So it's very important that we look at ourselves first and we change the bad habits that we have, increase the good habits that we have, and we open our hearts to others, because changing ourselves is changing the world. Yeah, it's very, very simple, but very hard to do.